Naruto, God-level system author, Blue Water God. Chapter 161, Entering the Sixth Path. After playing enough, Xianchen took out 3 bottles of potions and handed them to Kushina, Tsunade and Xiaonan. Mikoto already had a perfect fairy body, so she didn't need this potion at all. Although Kushina and Tsunade also had a fairy body, their one was not a perfect fairy body at all. This is? Tsunade opened the bottle cap and took a deep breath, feeling the cells in his body were shaking with excitement. Remember the potion I gave Mikoto back then? It's this thing, but it's not the same as what Mikoto used. This potion can only get a perfect immortal body. Xianchen explained softly. Perfect immortal human body? Tsunade drank the potion in one gulp, and then felt his body numb slightly, and his cells were dozens of times more active than before. What a powerful potion. I feel that the power has increased a lot. Chakra is like the sea, it is inexhaustible. Tsunade clenched his fist and said, among the girls, Tsunade is not strong, except for the young Xiaonan. Tsunade is the weakest. Mikoto has an eternal kaleidoscope writing Wilai and a perfect fairy body, and also has a fairy mode. The strength is well deserved to be the strongest. Kushina has rocks berries and has also learned the fairy mode. His strength is second only to Mikoto. Tsunade is a bit weaker than Mikoto and Kushina. So now Tsunade really wants to improve his strength, not to mention overpowering Mikoto and Kushina. At least he can't be weaker than them, otherwise, where will the face of his eldest sister be? Tsunade also learned the fairy mode before, but unfortunately he didn't learn it, which made Tsunade very discouraged. Now that she saw the potion that could make her stronger, Tsunade took it without saying a word. On the other side, Jixina and Xiaonan also took the medicine. The one who felt the biggest change was Xiaonan. She didn't have too much chakra at first, but her crazy surge of hundreds of times surprised Xiaonan herself. Before, Xiaonan was just the chakra of Shangnin. Now the chakra is more than 10 times that of the shadow level. There is no need to use a powerful ninjutsu and calculate the amount of chakra as before. Kushina threw a punch and made a sound of breaking through the air. She has already entered the super shadow level. Although the perfect fairy body is useful to her, it does not have an exaggerated effect. What Xianchen drew himself, plus what Xia gave him, Xianchen still has 8 bottles of immortal human body medicine. These 8 bottles of medicine, Xianchen planned to give a bottle to the Nawaki guy another day, and keep the rest. Mikoto, don't cook for me, I still have something to do. After Xianchen said to Mikoto, he used space teleport to leave. When he came to a deserted island, Xianchen sat down cross-legged, released 2 corpse puppets, and manipulated them to be vigilant around him. Then the mental power sank into the body, ignoring the 9-tailed beast chakra in the body, and looked at the chakra of Otsutsuki Hamura. Although you can use the chakra of Otsutsuki Hamura at will, but it's not my thing, and there's no need to keep it now. Technique. Devour God. Xianchen madly devoured the chakra of Otsutsuki Hamura. Don't look at it like a small group in Xianchen's body. In fact, this group of chakras is more than the 9-tailed chakra, but it was compressed and sealed by Xianchen. With the continuous devouring, Xianchen's chakra began to undergo qualitative changes. After Xianchen was completely swallowed, the boundless aura overwhelmed the sea, and the whole island trembled for a long time before it stopped. Xianchen was covered with a white robe, a black hook jade appeared on the neckline, and 12 black jades floated behind him. Relying on the chakra of Otsutsuki village, Xianchen completely stepped into the 6th Tao level, although it was only the first time to enter the 6th Tao. Feeling the once again strengthened body, the huge and almost infinite chakra, Xianchen let out a loud roar, and the sound caused waves to appear in the sea, setting off waves of more than 10 meters. Xianchen stood up, the clothes on his body, including the Kyudao jade, disappeared. It was impossible for Xianchen to wear a white robe, with a few Kyudao jade floating behind him running all over the street. It was too pretentious. He took out the scroll of blood and snares that had been preserved for a long time, and Xianchen just wanted to use it, but found that he couldn't use it at all. Immediately dodged to the system space and found Xia. How can I use this scroll? I thought it was a big deal. Just recite it in your heart and use it. Xia shook her head speechlessly. Oh. Xianchen nodded, and then used it silently. The scroll turned into blue light and merged into the body, and the 7 chakras in Xianchen's body simply merged with each other, forming a supreme blood net that reached the realm of God. I won't disturb you anymore, said Xianchen and left the system space. Xia was stunned for a moment, then softly scolded, this bastard, running away when he runs out of people, really has no taste. Leaving the system space, Xianchen used the power of the 6th level on the sea. After Xianchen stopped, the sea level dropped by half a meter. I didn't expect to be promoted to the 6th level by relying on the chakra that devoured Otsutsuki Yukon. Xianchen lay on the beach and said silently, although he has already entered the 6th Tao level, this does not mean that Xianchen will give up his previous plan. Now Xianchen is only entering the 6th Tao for the first time, and he is still far from the peak of the 6th Tao. If light compares to chakra, Xianchen can't even compare to Liu Daoban. and he will continue to work hard now. Although the combat power is unmatched, it does not mean that he will give up to improve his strength, and no one will give up if he can improve his strength. Can you hear me? I can hear you. I can see everything about you. What are you doing now? X's voice reached Rixianchen's ears. You can see everything. You can see it when I do that. Rixianchen suddenly sat up from the beach bar. Who would watch you do that kind of thing? I'm afraid of irritating eyes. In the system space, X's cheeks were flushed, and she purred softly. She looked very cute. But it was a pity that Rixianchen couldn't see it. That's not necessarily. Who knows if you will peek? Humphrey. The system can block. You can choose to block. X's snorted and said dissatisfied. Forget it. I'm afraid you won't be able to see my handsome face, and it will be bad if you suffer from depression. Rixianchen lay down again and said with his legs crossed. Don't go to the Three Treasures Hall. Do you have anything to do with me? Xja was not going to talk to him. I have to find you for something. Can't I chat with you? He tilde. Xja's sneering sarcasm made Rixianchen very embarrassed. It's really something. As for my two puppets, I want them to be the same as the intelligent robots in the movie. What can I do? Rixianchen said a little embarrassedly. I know. Give you two smart chips. You can put them in their bodies, and I have deducted the 200,000 exchange points for you. Hey, how can you make up your own mind? Rixianchen shouted a few times. But it was a pity that Xj ignored him at all. Chapter 162, Get the Eyes of the Gods. Why are they bugs? I'm not being deceived, right? What about the smart chip? Rixianchen held two mechanical bug-like things, wondering if Xj had tricked him. What do you think it is? It's okay if it's easy to use, Xj said dissatisfied. Then how is this thing used? I have already set it up for you. Now you only need to put the mechanical bugs into their bodies, and they will recognize you as the master and follow your orders. Xj's voice came. It's so simple. You said it earlier. It took me half a day to study it. Deserving it, Xj whispered happily. Rixianchen controlled Satsuki Hamura and Uchiha Kingching to come over, and then put two mechanical bugs on them. Two mechanical bugs quickly drilled into their bodies, and then manipulated the two bodies. Master. The two bowed to salute Rixianchen. Mechanical sound, an emotionless voice, bad review. Rixianchen groaned slightly. You have a lot of problems. There are better ones in the system, just the points you have accumulated. You can afford better ones. Now let's live with this one. Xj's voice appeared in 263's mind middle. Rixianchen felt that he had been hit hard. I want to complain to you. You actually look down on me and think I'm poor. Rixianchen, who felt that his glass heart was hit hard, roared in his mind. Aren't you poor? Xj's words were like a sharp sword, piercing Rixianchen's little heart, causing 10,000 tons of damage to Rixianchen. One day, I will become a rich man, and then I will buy the universe directly, buy one and throw one away. Rixianchen vowed secretly in his heart. After that, Rixianchen stopped talking to Xj and looked at Uchiha Kingching, or exactly the left eye of Uchiha Kingching. Uchiha Kingching's left eye is the pupil technique of Bishan God, and Rixianchen wanted it very much. Take off your left eye. After thinking about it, Rixianchen looked at Uchiha Kingching road. Yes, master. Uchiha Kingching cut out his left eye expressionlessly, and handed it to Rixianchen. Otsatsuki Umura, you give Uchiha Kingching a blind eye. Rixianchen instructed. But Otsatsuki Hamura still didn't move, as if he didn't hear it. Rixianchen was stunned. This guy can't be pregnant. It is said that the system produced by the good system must be a high-quality product. So broken. Xj, I'm not being deceived by you, right? Why is Otsatsuki Hamura completely disobeying orders? It's not malfunctioning. What you gave me is not a defective product, right? Rixianchen complained in his mind road. Bullshit. They don't have a name at all now. You call your name randomly. How do they know who you are called? Xj said tenderly. Is that so? Rixianchen scratched his head. From now on, you will be called Otsatsuki Umura, and your name will be Uchiha Kingching. Rixianchen pointed at the two and said, Yes, master. The two nodded dumbly, then fell silent. What do I think of them being stupid? Are you sure this is intelligence? Isn't this a fool? Rixianchen asked Xj in his mind. They are now equivalent to human babies. Except for the ability to execute your orders, others are ignorant and ignorant. They need to learn by themselves. Xj said. It's so troublesome. Rixianchen shook his head, feeling that this smart chip was too bad. Don't you know that there is no good product for cheap? But this smart chip is actually pretty good and durable. Xj's words left Rixianchen speechless. After all, he was saying that he was poor. Did he want to be so poor? The key is that Rixianchen could not find a channel to exchange points. Rixianchen didn't want to talk to Xj anymore, and always liked to expose his shortcomings. Looking at the writing wheel eye in his hand, Rixianchen used God Devourer to devour the writing wheel eye. By swallowing this writing wheel eye, Rixianchen obtained the other god, known as the strongest illusion. Looking at Uchiha Kingching, who has been replaced with white eyes, Rixianchen frowned slightly, feeling very awkward. Rixianchen has a little obsessive-compulsive disorder. Looking at Uchiha Kingching's different eyes, he feels awkward. So under the order of Rixianchen, Uchiha Kingching also dug out another eternal kaleidoscope writing wheel eye, and then let Otsutsuki Umura create a white eye and replace it for him. At this time, Ruxianchin felt much more comfortable. But with a pair of blank eyes, is he still Yokaiha? Ruxianchin didn't care. He drove them both away, and let them go to the world of ninja to learn the wisdom of human beings, at least not like they are now, like big fools. Looking at the eternal kaleidoscope writing wheel eye in his hand, Ruxianchin used God Devourer to devour this eye as well, and it was useless to keep one eye. The pupil technique of this eye is the moon reading. After swallowing this eye, Ruxianchin felt that his pupil technique moon reading seemed to be stronger, and the pupil power also increased a little, but it was almost negligible. Looking at the sky, the sun was about to go down, and Ruxianchin was ready to go back. When they got home, Mikoto and the others were having dinner. "It's so fragrant, my saliva is flowing." Ruxianchin quickly came to the front of the dining table, and was stopped by Mikoto just as he was about to start. "Go wash your hands first." Mikoto glared at Ruxianchin and said softly, "Yes, my wife." Ruxianchin said funny. After eating, Tsunade asked curiously, "What are you doing out of breath? I feel like you have changed a bit." "Of course, to break through." "Have you broken through to a higher realm?" Kushina asked with her mouth open in surprise. "Who is this son?" "The young gentleman of Yashu Linfeng, just relying on a handsome word to shock the past and present. Breakthrough is not trivial." Ruxianchin fluttered his hair and said incomparably coquettish. Juxin clenched his fists and lightly beat him, and said in a coquettish manner, "Looking at your virtue, it's really annoying." Ruxianchin stretched out his arms and hugged Kushina. His left hand was around Kushina, and his right was around Mikoto. He laughed loudly and said, "To celebrate my breakthrough in strength, we will sleep together in a big quilt tonight." The faces of the three Tsunade girls were red, and they didn't mean to resist. In the past 3 years, they had been neat and clean, and it was common for them to sleep together, and the three girls were used to it. But it's impossible to say not to be shy, but if you are shy, you have to go to bed together, otherwise they will be alone. I'm afraid they won't be able to get out of bed by Ruxianchin. The big quilt sleeps together, including me. Xiaonan pointed at himself dumbfoundedly, with a hint of panic and hilarity on his face. "Ah. Xiaonan, you are still young, let's talk about it when you grow up." Ruxianchin reached out and touched Xiaonan's head, and said earnestly, "Xiaonan is still a lily now. Although Ruxianchin is a scumbag, he will not attack Xiaonan." Cough cough. "No matter what, you have to raise it for 2 years first, and it will not be too late to start at that time." Xiaonan lowered his head in disappointment. "Actually, I've grown up," Xiaonan said in a low voice. After the meal, before Mikoto could clear the table, Xiaonan took Tsunade, Mikoto, and Kushina back to the room, and had no sleep tonight. Cough cough. The specific plot is my own brain. Chapter 163, Terumi Mei. "Are you sure it's here?" Ruxianchin asked lightly. "That's right. Mr. Chen asked Terumi to live here," Beige said respectfully. "Well, it's none of your business here." Ruxianchin nodded, then motioned for Beige to get out. Beige nodded hurriedly, and then left quickly. He didn't want to stay with Ruxianchin any longer. TSK, cute little Lilite Terumi, I'm here. Ruxianchin quickly sneaked into the big mansion in front, and began to search for Terumi. Soon Ruxianchin was at an artificial lake and found Terumi, who was still a little lily. "Lovely little sister, what are you doing sitting by the lake?" "It's very dangerous." Ruxianchin reached out and hugged Terumi from behind, startling Terumi. "Who are you and what are you trying to do to break into my house?" Terumi struggled anxiously, but the other party's hand was like a big pincer, and Terumi couldn't break free. "Little sister, I think your qualifications are good, and I came here to accept you as a disciple and teach you to become the #1 female ninja in the ninja world," Ruxianchin said with a smile. "HMPH, shameless, low-IQ, perverted." Xujin the system space snorted coldly, and words full of endless contempt entered Ruxianchin's mind. "Who said I was controlled by Lilika? I am clearly in full control." Ruxianchin retorted angrily. Xujin was speechless. "Let go of me, I don't need your teaching, I'm very powerful. Be careful I hit you," Terumi shouted in a delicate voice. Unfortunately, her constantly waving limbs made her words very unconvincing. Ruxianchin gave a strange laugh, then took out the immortal body potion and poured it into Terumi. "Hey, little sister, I fed you poison. You'd better not move around. This poison can only be solved by me." Ruxianchin threatened with a strange smile. "Laughing really wretched? Bullying the little girl? You are a real scum." Xujin's disdainful voice came. Ruxianchin shrugged, ignoring Xujin's words. "What happened to the scumbag? I'm a scumbag and I'm proud. Can I open a harem if I'm not a scumbag?" Terumi really believed Xiaona's intimidation. Tears flowed from her eyes, and she thought pitifully, is she going to die if she is so young? So unwilling. Terumi is very unwilling. She is only 10 years old. Will she be poisoned to death and end her life? "Can you give me the antidote? I don't want to die." Woo-woo Terumi woo-woo cried. "Don't cry. If you cry again, I won't give you the antidote, and then you will be poisoned to death." Those who are poisoned by this poison are all dark-faced. Their corpses are rotting, and there are no bones left. I don't think you want to die so miserably. Xianchen threatened without morals. I don't cry anymore. Can you let me go? Terumi sobbed. I can let you go, but if you dare to run, I don't need to say more about the consequences. Hyuga Tatsun let go of Terumi, who was freed from the confinement, immediately turned around and looked at Xianchen. At this time, she really saw the appearance of Xianchen. What a handsome eldest brother. It would be great if I could marry him in the future. Terumi's eyes flashed with peach hearts, and she looked dazed. I have to say that the girls in Hokage are really precocious. Then Terumi shook her head and came back to her senses. The other party is a big bad guy. How could she have a good impression on the big bad guy? Then what's your purpose? If you need money, my family has it. You must not hurt me, otherwise, my family will not let you go. Terumi threatened with insufficient confidence. Dare to threaten me, believe it or not, I'll just leave and let you die from poison. Xianchen glared at Terumi with evil. Terumi shook her head in fear, her eyes were misty, and she looked at Xianchen pitifully. Follow me. Xianchen stretched out his hand and took Terumi's little hand, and walked outside. Well, if you go out like this, you will be caught. Terumi reminded. After that, Terumi secretly scolded herself for being stupid. I didn't expect you to worry about me. It's okay, no one in this world can catch me. Xianchen smiled confidently, then pulled Terumi away. They did meet a lot of people along the way, but everyone ignored them as if they didn't see them. Terumi looked at this scene also at a loss, until she left her house. Terumi did not come back to her senses. Let's go. Xianchen bent down and picked up Terumi, soaring into the sky. Looking at the blue sky and white clouds, and the small crowd below, Terumi also felt a novelty. No matter how precocious she was only a little girl, and the feeling of flying made her very excited. After being excited for a long time, Terumi asked Xianchen, where are you taking me? Abduct you and sell it, do you believe it? Xianchen asked with a smile. I don't believe it. In fact, I wasn't poisoned at all, right? Terumi shook her head, her eyes shining brightly. Oh? How did you find out that you weren't poisoned? Xianchen looked curiously at Terumi in his arms. I guess right, I really wasn't poisoned. Terumi said excitedly. Her excitement broke. It was actually her guess just now. After Terumi calmed down, she checked her body. Not only did she find no signs of poisoning, but chakra showed a great increase, and even her physical strength became much stronger. It turned out to be a guess. I didn't expect that you are not stupid enough to know how to deceive me. But I'm very upset. What do you say? Xianchen stopped from the air and looked at Terumi with a gloomy face. Like to kill. Terumi felt murderous, and shivered all over her body. As long as you don't kill me, I'll listen to you. Terumi's voice was slightly trembling, and she was so scared that she didn't dare to look at Xianchen at all. Ha ha ha. Don't worry, I'm just joking with you. See what you're afraid of. Xianchen said with a big smile. I'm afraid that the little girl still has a smile on her face. Who else can match your face? Why is the system bound to you? X's contemptuous word sounded again. If you still want to see outside, just shut up for me, otherwise I don't mind blocking everything. Xianchen threatened. X's didn't dare to speak anymore. She was really afraid that Xianchen would block her perception of the outside world. Although the system space was boundless, she was bored alone. Where are you taking me? Looking at Xianchen, who was laughing, Terumi was no longer so scared and asked curiously. You'll know when the time comes. Xianchen said, and then accelerated the flight speed. But in order to take care of Terumi, Xianchen did not fly too fast. Knowing that she was not in danger, Terumi, who was not worried, looked at the scenery below from a high altitude and was amazed. Standing tall and looking far away, in the sky, Terumi could see a lot of sights she had never seen before. Chapter 164. The Contempt from the Women. Who is she? Please explain to me why you brought back a little girl after you went out for half a day. Jukes and I looked at Xianchen aggressively. I said, Kushina, how can you even eat a little girl's vinegar? I just saw that Mei Ai's talent is good, so I want to teach her, lest a piece of jade lose its brilliance. Xianchen spread his hands and said helplessly, regardless of whether others believed his words or not. He believed it himself anyway. HMPH, who believes? You fooled me when I was 5 or 6 years old. Do you think I would believe you? Jukes and I looked at Xianchen with contempt. You are a beast. You only lie to little girls. I have seen your essence since you were a child. Tsunade also showed contempt at Xianchen. Kushina, you are going too far. I remember that you seem to have brought it to the door by yourself. Xianchen said while pinching Kushina's nose. How could I deliver it myself? It's clearly your fault. Kushina opened Xianchen's hand and said unreasonably. Yes, I deceived you. You little fool was deceived by me all of a sudden. Xianchen said with a teasing. You actually said I was a little fool, Chen. Jukes and I gritted her teeth and wanted to take a bite. Why don't you speak, Mikoto? This guy has tricked another girl. Tsunade took Mikoto's hand and fanned the flames. Now Tsunade is afraid that the world will not be chaotic, and just wants to make some trouble for Xianchen. Xianchen glared at Tsunade fiercely, and then gave her a wait-and-see look. Tsunade looked at Xiangchen's eyes and felt a chill in his heart, and then immediately sat on the sofa with an obedient look. Xiangchen nodded with satisfaction, intending to let Tsunade go. Seeing everyone looking at her, Mikoto said lightly, "I have something to say, it's not like you don't know him." After speaking, Mikoto glared at Xiangchen angrily. After Tsunade, Mikoto, and Kushina got angry, they all reluctantly accepted Terumi, a new member of the family. But Xiaonan couldn't accept this little Lilai, who was not much different in age than her, and was full of hostility to Ming. Terumi also saw Xiaonan's hostile gaze, and glared back, not daring to show weakness. "Terumi, how did you come with him?" Kushina asked curiously. Tsunade, Mikoto, and Conan also looked at Terumi curiously. They also wanted to know how Terumi was tricked by Xiangchen. Terumi first glanced at Xiangchen, and then told everything that happened today. After listening to Terumi's narration, Tsunade, Mikoto, Kushina and the others all looked at Xiangchen with the eyes of perverts and beasts. Even Xiaonan, who has always admired his brother, looked at Xiangchen with a little contempt, feeling that the glorious image of his brother in his heart had completely collapsed. Xiangchen's eyes when facing the girls were not different. "What kind of person am I, don't you know?" Xiangchen said softly. "We knows that you are a big pervert and a big pervert, but we still underestimated your lower limit. You dead low it can. Then you are not in love with me, a big pervert." Xiangchen said proudly. "Humphrey, don't even think about going to our bed this month." Kushina snorted softly. Xiangchen smiled. "If I don't go to your bed, won't I carry you to my bed? Do you want to go back to Terumi? Rest assured, with us here, this big pervert dare not bully you." Kushina took Terumi's hand and said. After thinking for a while, Terumi shook her head. "Why?" Xiaonan asked unhappily. She really wanted Terumi to go back. "My parents and relatives are gone. I'm alone every time. It's boring to stay in the family." Terumi said softly. "I didn't expect you, Terumi." "Don't worry, we will be your relatives from now on." Kushina gently touched Terumi's head. "We won't let this big pervert bully you," Mikoto said softly after giving Xiangchen a blank look. Xiangchen's heart is depressed. Although he didn't really care, he couldn't keep saying he was a pervert. "It seems that you must show the majesty of the head of the family and teach them a good lesson in bed, and then it is estimated that they will be honest." "Well, is it true that you taught me to practice?" Terumi asked cautiously to Xiangchen. "Of course it's true. Whatever you want to cultivate, as long as it can be taught, I will definitely teach you." Xiangchen nodded and said with a smile. "Then can you teach me to fly in the sky?" Terumi asked expectantly. "Of course can." "Terumi doesn't need you to teach her, we can teach her," Kushina said, pulling Terumi's hand. "Sister Terumi, let Sister Kushina and the others teach me. There are a lot of things that I don't understand about the secret art of paper escape that I developed. I need your brother's guidance," Xiaonan said while holding Xiangchen's hand. "What about your choice, Ming?" Xiangchen asked with a wink. "I'll follow you to practice," Terumi said after hesitating for a while. After Xiaonan heard it, her cheeks bulged slightly, like a small hamster, which was extraordinarily cute. After Xiangchen saw it, he couldn't help pinching Xiaonan's face. It felt so cute. He was completely two people from the cold Xiaonan in Xiangchen's memory. There was a cute contrast. Xiaonan comfortably accepted Xiangchen's face pinching, and even gave Terumi a provocative look. Terumi was very unhappy, and Xiaonan's provocation made Terumi feel very uncomfortable. There are other reasons why Terumi couldn't tell, because she was unhappy looking at Xiaonan. "The two of you are unhappy with me, and I see you as unhappy, and the air freezes because of their staring at each other." Xiangchen took one in one hand and walked outside. He didn't expect that Xiaonan's gentle temperament would not get along with Terumi. Coming to the open space in front of the beach, Xiangchen first taught Terumi the 6 naval styles. The 6 naval styles are very inclusive and suitable for almost anyone. In the process of learning the 6 forms of the Navy, Terumi also let go of the tension in her heart, and the trace of fear and precaution she had reserved for Xiangchen in her heart gradually disappeared. Looking at the smile on Terumi's face, Xiaonan felt uncomfortable, her cheeks bulged again, and she didn't even fold the origami she usually likes. "Brother, come here quickly, I want to show you my paper escape secret technique," Xiaonan shouted loudly. "You practice on your own first, I'll go take a look first," Xiangchen said to Ming, and then walked towards Xiaonan. Terumi saw Xiangchen turn and walk towards Xiaonan. She was slightly disappointed, and she pouted uncontrollably. Chapter 165, Loulan Dragon Pulse Sala. Looking at Xiaonan's paper escape secret technique, Xiangchen pondered, and then said, "Xiaonan, your secret technique is only fairly good, and the flaws are a little obvious. Zidane is afraid of water and oil. Although its abilities are comprehensive, its shortcomings are more obvious. How about I teach you other escape techniques?" "But I really like this paper dungeon," Xiaonan said with pursed lips. "Xiaonan, you are so stupid, and I didn't tell you to give up Zidane. I just taught you other ninjutsu to make up for your shortcomings." Xiangchen stroked Xiaonan's head and said, "Oh. What kind of ninjutsu do you want to teach me, brother?" Xiaonan nodded, looking at Xianchen's face. "How about teaching you to fuse blood and follow the boundaries?" Xianchen asked with a smile. "Can you also teach the bloodline?" Terumi Mei, who was next to him, came over curiously. "As long as the changes of the two chakra properties are merged, the bloodline boundary can be generated. It is very simple for me. But if you want to have the bloodline boundary, you will have to work hard." Xianchen has merged 7 kinds of chakra nature changes to form a blood net, whether it is Mu Dun, Chen Dun, Lan Dun, etc., the boundary of blood, and the elimination of blood. Xianchen can use it. "I can only teach you 12 theories. Whether it can be developed or not depends on you." Xianchen said. Okay. The theory is fine too," Terumi Mei said excitedly. Xiaonan also looked at Xianchen yearningly. The blood boundary was very attractive to every ninja. Even Tsunade and the others were interested and listened carefully to what Xianchen said. Xianchen told how to integrate the changes in the nature of chakra, as well as matters needing attention, all unreservedly. The rest can only rely on themselves. Xianchen can only give a little mention. Having a perfect immortal body. In fact, it is possible for you all to fuse the wooden dun, the complete version of the wooden dun. Xianchen mentioned a sentence. Mu Dun? Tsunade's eyes shone brightly. She was most eager to get Mu Dun, not only to gain Mu Dun's power to destroy the world, but also because of Mu Dun's special significance to the Kaienzu family. Seeing the girls who were working hard to study, Xianchen didn't bother, and said a few words to the girls, then left the island and the country of water. Xianchen's destination this time is the ancient country of Loulan, and the real goal is the Dragon Vein. I am very curious about the Dragon Vein, Xianchen, because the Dragon Vein can make people travel through time and space, and this kind of thing cannot be done by Xianchen now. Even the 10 tails do not have this ability. And how long has the Dragon Vein existed? No one knows. Maybe it is older than the Divine Tree. Xianchen's speed was very fast. After arriving in the still prosperous ancient country of Loulan, Xianchen frowned. If it is calculated according to time, the current Baizu should have traveled through for a long time. Why is there no sign? Is there a change? Xianchen whispered to himself. He didn't believe that the ambitious 100-footed crossing would do nothing. Idiot Chen, with you here, do you think Baizu can pass through? X's words suddenly awakened Xianchen. Right. Baizu came from the future, but does the Dragon Vein still have a future? I remind you that Baizu didn't come from the future. Xu reminded Xianchen. Isn't it from the future? Where did he come from? He popped out of the cracks in the stone? Xianchen asked. He didn't think Xu would deceive him. Xianchen waited for a long time, but Xu didn't speak, which made Xianchen feel depressed and wanted to run into the system space and beat her ass. After inquiring about it, Xianchen also knew that the current queen is Sara, who is only 12 years old. Using space ninjutsu, he came to the palace, and Xianchen began to look for Sara. He also wanted Sara to take him to the Dragon Veins. The most important thing is that Xianchen is very curious about Sara, and can control the Dragon Veins with endless energy, whether Xianchen wants to be curious or not. Sala is obviously just an ordinary person without power. How can he have the ability to control Dragon Veins? Xianchen was very curious. The small country is not big, and the palace is not small. Xianchen walked in the palace casually, and the maids around him seemed to not see him at all. The country of Loulan is incompatible with all the countries in the ninja world. Only the leader of this country is called the Queen, and the leaders of other countries are called the Big Name. When she came to Sara's bedroom, Xianchen finally found her, but at this time Sara was taking a bath. Hearing the sound of rushing water, Xianchen was lying on the big pink bed. As a big gentleman, Xianchen would never do such a rude thing as a peek. Even if he really wanted to see it, Xianchen wouldn't look at it secretly. Besides, a 12-year-old girl didn't have a proud figure yet, and there was nothing to look at. Lying on the soft big bed, Xianchen was expressionless. He had been lying here for more than an hour, and the people inside had not come out. If there was no movement, Xianchen would have thought that the other party had drowned in the bath. After another half hour, Sara walked out of the bathroom humming a song, naked, because no one dared to break into the room, so Sara was used to it. Hearing the footsteps, Xianchen got up and did it, and looked at Sara, and the air was instantly still. Seeing Sara's unexpected figure, Xianchen said that he wanted to take back his previous thoughts. The body of a 12-year-old girl was also quite interesting. Sara, who realized it with hindsight, finally reacted. Big 710 called out, and hurried back to the bathroom. Xianchen poked out his ears. The sound was indeed loud. If it wasn't for Xianchen's sound insulation barrier, Sara's voice would probably be able to spread throughout all the palaces. After a long time, Sara stuck her head out of the bathroom. She was already wearing clothes, and looked at Xianchen angrily. Xianchen turned his head and didn't see it. It wasn't all his fault. Who told the other party to take a bath and run out naked? You're wearing a yukata anyway. Xianchen thought so, but Sara didn't think so. In her opinion, it was entirely the fault of this shameless thief, who broke into the girl's boudoir without permission, and was definitely not a good person. Xianchen didn't know. He has now been labeled as not a good person. Knowing that Xiangjun would not care, he was not a good person. Who are you? How dare you break into this queen's palace? Believe it or not, I'll have your head chopped off. Sarah pinched her waist with one hand and pointed at Xiangjun angrily with the other. Only then did Sarah seriously look at Xiangjun. Seeing Xiangjun's handsome face, her face flushed slightly, and her little heart beat faster than expected. Sarah shook her head vigorously, and threw all the messy thoughts out of her mind. This is a thief with bad intentions. No matter how handsome he looks, it can't change that he is a villain. If you like this audiobook, subscribe the channel for more videos like this. Leave some comment and let me know if you guys like this story, or you have a web novel you like and want to hear its audiobook. I will be happy to create them for you. Please like, share, and leave a comment on the video.